one gig at a time with me, Kevin Daniel. This is episode 5, I think. Thanks for coming along. If you don't know me before, hello, I'm Kevin. Nice to meet you. How do you do? I am a semi-professional stand-up comedian based in the UK, and I gig all over the UK. And what I'm doing here is just documenting my journey in comedy, where I'm at, what I'm doing, the things I'm doing to try and progress, and letting you know where we're getting it. So this week just gone, it's been a really good week. I had 2 brilliant gigs, really lovely gigs. I had a gig on Friday night in a place called Chilwell in Nottingham, which is a gig that shouldn't work. It shouldn't work as a gig. It's an old bus garage. So it's an old corporation bus depot where they used to take all the buses in and repair them and everything else. And I think 3 brothers run it as a kind of venue. They do loads of stuff there. They put music on, they put food shows on, they put, charity events on, all sorts of stuff. And once a month, in conjunction with a promoter called Funhouse Comedy, they run a comedy night. And I was there on Friday night, and I was the middle act in a really nice lineup. So we had Nick Copen, who was the MC. Never worked before with Nick, don't know Nick. He was MCing on the night. Opening act was Lloyd Griffith. Again, never worked with Lloyd, but I know who he is. Lots of you guys will know him for off the telly. I think he does that. I think he does the Australian. I think he does the Death in Paradise TV show that's based in Australia. He's the UK detective in that, but he's also a stand-up comedian. So Lloyd was opening the show, and then I was on in the middle. And the headline act was Jack Gledo. Now, I love Jack Gledo. I'm going to try and tag everybody that I mention in these videos. Jack is brilliant. And when I was really new as an act, like proper new as an act, I had gigged with Jack a couple of times, and he was doing his first ever UK tour, and he asked me if I would come and do a support spot at one of his tour shows. So I love Jack, and I've got a lot of fondness for Jack because he gave me a brilliant opportunity when I was a really new act. So thank you, Jack. I really appreciate it. It was so good to see you again, big man. And then on Saturday night, I drove all the way to Windham, which is near Norwich, so far away. But they're lovely people, in a big kind of hall in the market town of Windham. But it's spelled Wymondynham. But they don't pronounce it Wymondynham, they pronounce it Windham, which is wrong. And they shouldn't do that because they're just ignoring letters in their name, and that's not allowed. So that was a gig for Shaft of Wit Comedy. Now, the lineup was, I was going to MC with Arthur Smith, like the legend of the telly, Grumpy Old Men and all that, Arthur Smith. Arthur was going to open, and then a guy called Steve Day, who's brilliant. He's a deaf comedian, he's really good. He's proper funny, but again, has been around the circuit for years and years. And then the headline act was Paul Sinner. So that was the lineup, that was how it was going to be. So I got there in plenty of time. Shaft of Wit Comedy is a promoter, a guy called Kai Barron. Kai does a bit of comedy as well. And he was on the phone when I arrived because poor Arthur had broken his foot. So get well soon, Arthur. I hope you're all right. Arthur couldn't make the gig, which meant they had to shuffle things about a wee bit, which meant rather than MCing, Kai MC'd the gig, and I just did the middle spot, which was brilliant. It was really good. They were a brilliant audience. They were so lovely, because that's a big disappointment, isn't it, when people have bought tickets to maybe see such a big star like Arthur Smith, and then he's not able to make it. So, but the people were really lovely and really nice, and I had a brilliant time. It was great. And then on Sunday, I was on a MC course, like how to be an MC, an MC course run by a guy called Stephen Grant. If you don't know Stephen Grant, he used to run Comedia Comedy Club in Brighton. He now runs the Forge Comedy Club in Brighton. He has been on the UK stand-up scene for about 28 years. He's an incredibly well-credited writer. He writes for loads of acts, loads of TV shows, all sorts of stuff. And he is considered to be one of the UK's best MCs for comedy clubs. And he was putting a course together to teach people like myself how to be an MC and how to improve their MC. It was a brilliant day, organised by Stevie Gray, who is another comedian round about the Midlands area. Stevie organised the whole thing, so thanks for doing that, Stevie. And it was brilliant. It was so good to sit in a room with Stephen and have him critique each of us that were there and help us to improve the kind of things you need to do as an MC. So that was really good. So it's been a cracking week. Really pleased. In terms of gigs and stuff, I had a wee look again, as I always do. I think I applied for 23 gigs last week. Again, I've explained before, lots of gigs are advertised for, like, so we're in February at the minute, aren't we? And lots of gigs are advertised for like March and April and September and June, and like, so well in advance. So I applied for about 23 gigs this week. Haven't added any new bookings to the diary this week. Haven't had any bookings come in this week, but that's all right. Some weeks are like that. So what else have I done? I did some writing. I've written some new stuff that I'm going to try out at some new material nights this week. And I had a meeting with my website guy. I had a meeting with my pal Glenn that built and manages and basically looks after my website for me. So we've had it for a couple of years now, so we had a wee meeting about refreshing it and updating it and trying to make it a wee bit better. Red Centaur is Glenn's business. So if you're looking for a website or you want somebody to design a website, so you have a look at Red Centaur. Highly recommend him. Glenn's a lovely man and he's been really helpful. So I had a nice meeting with Glenn about that. So he's going to go away and work on some things that hopefully will just freshen up the website a wee bit. So yeah, really good week. Really excited for the week coming up, because this week, what is it? I think it's the 2nd of February at the minute, 2026. And on Wednesday of this week, the 4th of February, we have the start of the Leicester Comedy Festival. So I'm a Leicester-based act. I live in Leicester, and the Leicester Comedy Festival is always a really big deal for the city and for lots of people involved in the UK comedy scene. Loads of people come and do shows. There's loads of shows on every night. Everything, there's kids shows, there's adult shows, there's naked comedy, there's comedy in the dark, there's mixed bills, there's people doing works in progress, there's people bringing their tour shows, all amazing stuff. So yeah, just Google Leicester Comedy Festival, have a look at their website, have a look at all the acts they're on, and if you're anywhere around about Leicestershire, come out and support the show, come out and support the festival. It's brilliant. So yeah, really looking forward to that. So I have got gigs on Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night and Sunday this week. So really busy. So very much looking forward to that. So thank you for your time. That's it. Another week in the life of trying to be a stand-up comedian and trying to progress through the circuit. Yeah, any questions? Drop me a note, let me know. I'll try and answer them. But yeah, thanks. And hello to all my new followers, whether that's on Instagram or TikTok or wherever. Thanks for your support. I really appreciate it. And I'll speak to you next week. Cheers.